Hello, everybody. Welcome to our nutrition unit. Let's get started. So, nutrition is defined as the process of providing or obtaining the food necessary for health and growth. So, there are many different variations of good, healthy, nutritious habits or guidelines out there. One of the ones that is now becoming pretty well known around is called My Plate, where there is a general rule of thumb about how much fruits, vegetables, grains, protein, and dairy that a person should be consuming each day. If you take a look at this picture, not all of them are weighted the same. Um, Vegetables are much higher than everything else. Um, Dairy is probably the least amount. But this will vary between people, between ages, between how active people are, all those things. So I want you to think about this for a minute. Now, our level of nutrition might be higher or lower, depending on how much you've learned throughout your life. But I want you to think about if you can name an example of each of these. Now, I think most of us should be able to name an example of a fruit or a vegetable. But can we think of an example of a grain, or think of an example of a dairy, or a protein, or it's not on here, or a fat? Let's take a look at this pyramid here. Now, the food pyramid was one of the most traditional um, versions of what a healthy, nutritious diet would be daily. Um, and even though it might not have the same popularity these days that did years ago, a lot of these concepts still apply to this day. So fats, oils, and sweets used sparingly, as we see here on the top part of the pyramid. So fats are naturally occurring and added, sugars added. So those are the ones here. Milk, yogurt, and cheese group, 2 or 3 servings a day. This is what we refer to as our dairies. Meat, poultry, fish, dry beans, eggs, nuts. Sometimes this would be our proteins, good fats, that kind of stuff. Vegetable group here, fruit group here, and then bread, cereals, rice, pasta. Our carbohydrates are, a lot more servings then. And as I mentioned to you, even though this may have fallen out of favor with a lot of people, a lot of these concepts are still good and used to this day. So, why should kids eat healthy and exercise? I mean, that's a question that we hear from a young age, right? Be active, exercise, and eat healthy. So nutrients. These help regulate bodily function, promote growth, repair body tissue, and gives us energy. There are 6 classes of nutrients, and we're going to take a little bit of time to talk about all 6 of these. So as we've mentioned, carbohydrates, fats, protein, vitamins, minerals, and water. So carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are energy. So the foods we eat contain nutrients that provide energy and other things the body needs. Most of the nutrients in food fall into 3 major categories: proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. The 2 main forms of carbohydrates are sugars, such as fructose, glucose, and lactose, and starches, which are found in foods such as starchy vegetables, grains, rice, breads, and cereals. The body breaks down or converts most carbohydrates into the sugar glucose, which is absorbed into the bloodstream. As the glucose level rises in the body, the pancreas releases a hormone called insulin. Insulin is needed to move sugar from the body into the cells where it can be used as a source of energy. If you look here, complex carbohydrates provide vitamins, minerals, and fibers, and foods such as breads, legumes, rice, pasta, and starchy vegetables contain complex carbohydrates. Fats equal energy storage. So the body uses fat as a fuel source, and fat is the major storage form of energy in the body. Fat also has many other important functions in the body, and a moderate amount is needed in the diet for good health. So, myself growing up, I always was taught that, fats are bad. Fats are bad. Stay away from fats as much as possible. And it's just not quite the truth. You do want to have, some fats, just you want to be careful on which fats you are eating. Fats in food come in several forms, including saturated, monosaturated, and monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated. Too much fat or too much of the wrong type of fat can be unhealthy. Some examples of foods that contain fats are butter, oil, nuts, meat, fish, and some dairy products. So there are good fats and there are bad fats. If we take a look at these pictures here, we have some salmon, some avocados, some nuts, some peanut butter. Although some of these may be very high in fat, they are what we call good fats, as opposed to the things on the bottom, which are pizza, butter, chips, cupcakes, cakes, sugars, where a lot of those are bad fats that are bad for storage in the body. Protein is for muscle building. So protein builds, maintains, and replaces the tissue in your body. Not the tissues you blow your nose in. Those are different. Your muscles, your organs, and your immune system are made up mostly of protein. You'll find protein in lots of yummy foods: eggs, nuts, beans, fish, meat, and milk. So here are some of the pictures of some things that are high in protein. So proteins for vegans. So a vegan diet is something that has become much more well known in recent times. And one of the big things that people have an issue with is, how is the body going to be able to eat proteins when you're on a vegan diet? So how do people who don't eat any animal products get their essential amino acids? Well, you can combine 2 or more plant sources of protein to get all 9 essential amino acids. For example, you can combine rice and beans, and that's a pretty easy way to get the proteins that are needed for the body. So we've definitely heard about vitamins and minerals throughout our life. But what exactly are these things, and how do they help our body? So vitamins and minerals are substances that are found in foods we eat. Your body needs them to work properly, so you grow and develop just like you should. When it comes to vitamins, each one has a special role to play. For example, vitamin D in milk helps your bones. Vitamin A in carrots helps you see at night. Vitamin C in oranges helps your body heal if you get a cut. And then B vitamins in whole grains help your body make energy from food. So water equals life. About 65% of your body weight is water. It's a lot. Nearly all chemical reactions in the body take place in water. It's a major component of blood and tissues, and it promotes homeostasis. It's a process of maintaining a steady state within the body, such as regulating temperature when we perspire, and then water contains electrolytes, dissolved substances that regulate many processes within our cells. Drink water. And if you think you've drank enough water that day, drink more. Our body is always continuously needing water and then using it to flush ourselves out, and we get rid of water, and then we need to keep replenishing. So when in doubt, continue to drink water.